The question is, can EU nationals who has settled or pre-settled status can apply for their family member to bring the UK despite it has already 3 years of Brexit? Well, the answer is yes. If you satisfy certain requirement, you can still invite your family member to join with you in the UK under EU settlement scheme. EU settlement scheme has not closed, or is still open, subject to limited circumstance. And the condition, and if you as soon as you satisfy the condition, you can still sponsor your parents and the family member under the family member definition who was your family member. You can invite them to come and join with you in the UK. What the changes have been made in the EU settlement scheme is you cannot invite your extended family member, means those relatives, brother, cousin, any relatives basically. You can't bring, which used to be under Regulation 8, that you can invite any relatives to come and join with you in the UK. So currently is limited to the family member, and family member means your parents, grandparents, great grandparents in the ascending line, your in the descending line, which is basically your grandchildren, great grandchildren. So whoever in this line and when they're in the top line, you can invite them to come in the UK. What you need to satisfy that these two lines, they are dependent. Well, the and over 18, or if it is over 21, your children or grandchildren, they need to establish they are dependent on you financially, or for because of their health need, they are dependent on you. If your parents, again, they need to be established, they are dependent on you. Now the dependency is basically very wide. A lot of case law, Ria, Monica, and some other case law as well, gave explanation what is dependency mean. It doesn't need to be dependent for prolonged period, like a couple of years or before Brexit. The case law in the Supreme Court decision is said that at the time of the application, that the family member has to be dependent, and there is authority to establish this. So if you don't have even the proof of remittance prior to 2020, prior to Brexit, still you can prove they are dependent if you can establish that they're financially, you are sending money at the time they made this application. Now, Home Office may refuse your application from my experience, but if you go to the court with an experienced lawyer who know the EU law, who know the case law, Ray, Monica, and some other cases, which is the leading constitutional case of dependency, that can help. They can make an argument to the court that the dependency means that's what and so, because of because of their financial living needs, they're dependent at the time he made the application. But before you made the application, I'll advise you do a consultation before with any solicitor. We provide the legal services and consultation remotely and face-to-face. If you need any help, please feel free to contact with us. The contact details appear on the bottom of the screen. Now, the primary condition of this requirement of this to invite the EU family member is mainly you need to establish that your relationship has started prior to Brexit, prior to 31st December 2020. So if you born, say for example, your parents, of course, prior to Brexit 2020, so it's clear. If you have a children even before or after, they can also come under the current EU settlement scheme. Only we sometimes face struggle on the relationship spouse, husband and wife. So if you want to bring your spouse under the EU law, under the EU settlement scheme, you need to establish that your relationship, your marriage conducted prior to 31st December 2020. That's what the primary requirement, the relationship requirement. So mainly if you can establish that my relationship started prior to 31st December 2020, either your parents or your spouse, you can bring them. In case of children, it doesn't matter when your relationship started. As soon as your children, you can bring them under EU law. So this is what the condition of to bring the under EU settlement scheme. So under the EU law, still you can bring your family member. Instead of EU law, you'll bring under EU settlement scheme. So this is all about today. If you need help, please feel free to contact us. We are available.